So one of the biggest issues with Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram getting a turnaround and also turning around Stellantis is pricing. The vehicles are priced too damn high, as Jimmy would say from New York. But it looks like that's about to get addressed. And Ford and GM should be worried.
For the longest time. Whoa. For the longest
Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet, represent, gotta.
So welcome on back to TK's Garage. So in today's video, guys, short video, won't be super long. I want to talk about some of the information I got from my sources today concerning pricing come mid-2025. So we're thinking beginning of Q2. So we're looking around April of 2025. We're going to see massive price cuts. And it could happen before that. This is just what they're proposing now to actively do. One of the biggest issues Stellantis has had has been pricing. You know, you go look at a Ram truck right now, and you can get a 1500 that's spec'd at well over $100,000. That's TRX territory, and this is just a regular Ram. It's not. I mean, I don't want to say it's a regular Ram. It's a tungsten, but it's still the fact that you know you have the top trim level of a regular 1500 over $100,000. That was 3,500 dually pricing. You know what I'm saying? For you guys that have been around trucks for a long time, I mean, I think the most I ever paid for a SUV or a truck had to be my Z71 Tahoe, the second one. And I think I was at 52,000 on that from GM, and that was in 2022. Yeah, that was absolutely insane. That was even, I thought that was too much for me at that time, right? And now these things can get specced up and be well over $100,000. It's a damn house. You know, it's a mortgage payment. It's insane. Well, it looks like Stellantis is going to address that, and they're going to aggressively cut prices. I said one of the biggest things that Stellantis would need to do to be able to turn this company around in a fast, quick order, and that's pushing and moving metal, right? You got to sell stuff, sell. And in order to do that, you have to have pricing that's there that makes sense for banks and consumers to put money out for it. Well, as long as the dealers, and that is the biggest point here, as long as the dealers play ball, we're looking at a massive revitalization. As they're looking at cutting prices, I said, 20% would be huge, but they're looking at 35% across the board at MSRPs, gone. So is that great? A $100,000 truck would now be $65,000. If you have a tungsten, fully loaded, all the bells and whistles Ram 1500 for $65,000, and GMC with the Denali or Chevy with the Silverado and Ford with the F-150 are still selling their trucks over 80, people are going to look at the Ram, especially with some of the moves that Tim is moving behind the scenes to bring back V8 options in Ram trucks. I think 2025 could be a huge year when it comes to revenue for Stellantis. If they implement that, if Elkin goes for it and the board approves these cuts to pricing, people are going to come back to the brand in droves. Now, pricing is one part of the issue that has to be fixed, but the other part is also the quality. Tim Kuniskis has a very hard road ahead of him to get with Elkin and or Antonio, if he ends up taking that lead position of the entire company, to get back the part suppliers that made quality parts, not the cheap parts that are causing all of the issues now with the Hurricane engines. I'm people think I just hate on the Hurricane. I don't. I hate on all of the cheap plastic parts that are around that engine. The water pump, the thermostat, everything on top on the intake. All of that plastic is it's death for your engine. Like, that's what it is. And I can tell you, as a BMW guy, I know about this because we have a lot of plastic around our engines on the BMWs that I have. And anytime I can buy the metal part, they make an aftermarket metal part that replaces that, whether it's on top of the intake, whether it's water pumps, any of that, I buy the metal part. I don't want the plastic part. And unfortunately, that's what's grenading this stuff. So they have to address that as well. But good news, because if they are going to cut, I thought 20% was going to be a huge number, but the fact that they're talking 35% in meetings, that they have to cut prices by 35% in 2025, I think we could get some sales back. I think we could get some excitement going around the brand, especially with one or two key announcements. One being the CUDA, two being a Hellcat and V8 options for Ram. Plain and simple, not difficult, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.